Okay, this is People of the State of Michigan versus James Hunsucker, docket number 17-466FH. Mr. Hunsucker, you're here today because a bench warrant was issued. It was issued based on, well, there were 4 counts, and the agent is Agent Allen. Were we adding 3 more counts? Is that how I'm to understand this report?
It looks like I am here on behalf of Agent Castline, who is Mr. Hunsucker's probation officer.
Yeah.
And it looks like she wants to add 3 additional counts, Your Honor.
Okay, I see what they are, so I'll just read them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Hunsucker, you're here today on allegations that you're in violation of probation. It is alleged here in count 1, on or about April 26th, you had a confirmed tamper on your scram tether and alcohol was detected. On the same date, it says in count 2, you consumed alcohol, which was confirmed by your scram tether. On April 29th this year, you had a confirmed tamper on your scram tether and alcohol was detected. And then the 4th count is also on April 29th that you consumed alcohol as confirmed by the scram tether. And then 3 additional violations are in count 5, on or about May 2nd and May 4th, you consumed alcohol and that consumption was confirmed on the scram tether. And then count 6, on or about May 8, you failed to obey a direct order by the agent by failing to turn yourself in on the bench warrant. And in count 7, that on May 28th, you were under the influence of alcohol, and that was at the time of your arrest. Do you understand the allegations against you?
Yes, ma'am.
If they are proven true, it could subject you to a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison based on your original conviction. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed for you at public expense. You also have the right to have a contested hearing on these allegations, where you could appear by yourself or through an attorney. You could hear the evidence presented against you. You could cross-examine witnesses, and you could present your own evidence. First, are you requesting an attorney?
No, ma'am, there's no point. I mean,
Okay.
I'm guilty of it.
Okay, it's up to you. If you do not want an attorney and you say you're guilty on it, then I assume that means you're pleading guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Hunsucker, as I said, you have the right to a contested hearing. If you plead guilty, you won't have a contested hearing, and you'll give up the rights that go along with it. That includes the right to be represented by an attorney, the right to have the allegations proven, the right to have the witnesses against you appear at the hearing and to be able to cross-examine them, the right to have this court order any witnesses that you might have to appear at the hearing, and also the right to testify yourself at the hearing if you wanted to. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promises to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone used any pressure or threats or anything like that?
Negative.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you did violate probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, tell me about that. There have been several occasions where your scram tether detected alcohol. Were you drinking?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and that would be on April 26th, April 29th, May 2nd, May 4th, and May 28th when you were picked up on the bench warrant. Does that sound about right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And had you tried to tamper with your tether?
No, the tamper is one thing I don't understand. I never did tamper with the device. I mean, for all I knew, it was pretty much 100% accurate. There was no point in my mind to tamper with the device. I didn't want to be charged for it again. And,
I'm fine with that then. I'll just accept your guilty plea on counts 2, 4, 5, and 7. And the court finds the plea was understandingly, voluntarily, and knowingly made. It is supported by the testimony. The plea of guilty is accepted, and Mr. Hunsucker is found guilty of probation violation. And Agent Allen, is there a recommendation?
There is, Your Honor. Agent Castleline asked that if Mr. Hunsucker was found guilty, that his probation be revoked. He be sentenced to 180 days jail with credit for 175 days served, which would also account for the time that he's most recently been in jail.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Hunsucker, what would you like to say?
I have no excuses. I'm glad I got when I did. You know, the progression wasn't there yet with past, and I have no explanation. I drank. I had just started a job for Four Brothers Landscaping, working in the hot sun. It is, I guess it was, I was working and I deserved it. In spite of my successes so on probation, I've been 6 on probation and I've had more successes than failures here. One of the first times that I had been as successful as I. But as far as excuses, I'm not going to sit and get any excuses for it.
Okay. All right. Well, you've had a lot of probation violations along the way, and that's not to say that you haven't had more successes and good things on probation than you've had in the past, because I think you've always struggled. But the fact of the matter is, I was watching you very carefully on probation, because when they extended your scram for 90 days, it was indicated that you felt scram was good for you, and I was pleased to hear that, and I thought that additional monitoring would help you. But it's really clear that the problem that you have is much greater than that, and I think right now the only thing I can really do is to have you in the most structured environment, which would be the highest sanction of revoking your probation and imposing a jail sentence, because these other things just have not been adequate to keep you from drinking. That doesn't mean that we're giving up on you or that we think this is a lost cause. It just means that everything that we've been able to offer you on probation has not been enough, and so you're going to need the ultimate structured environment of being in jail in order to address this problem, which I hope that you will still address. So I am going to revoke your probation, and I'm sentencing you to 365 days in jail with credit for 175 days already served. If you are eligible and able to get into CATS while you're in the jail, I would order that. And the bench warrant is dismissed. And Mr. Hunsucker, you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and your sentence in this matter. You're entitled to an attorney at public expense to assist you in doing that. If you're making a request for one, you have to make it within 42 days of today's date. Is there by any chance an appellate rights form sitting there by you on the table?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I didn't think so. Then we will be mailing you an appellate rights form that tells more about your right to file an application to appeal and the time frame. You should just know that it starts to run from today though, and it's 42 days. Okay, you are all set, and that will conclude this hearing. Mr. Hunsucker, you can give them the heads up there at the jail that you're all set with your hearing.
Okay.
Okay, good luck.